You will see people go for marriage seminar. They tell them to dress naked before their husband. So a wife is taught how to seduce the husband. Is she a harlot?
Marry your friend. Marry your friend.
Look at the subject of marriage today, for example. Every time we talk marriage, they say marry your friend. That's not in the Bible.
This talk about marrying your best friend has been lingering for quite some time now. It's very difficult to trace where the source came from. You can hardly tell if it came from the Western world, if it came from psychology, if it came from the Africans, or is it just people that made it up? These are some videos for you to watch so that you can judge for yourself, use your brain to think, and do what works for you. This is Pastor Aroko and Apostle Johnson Suleiman. They will be stating their views about what they think about marriage. Then you will drop what you think in the comment section. Do you think believers should marry their best friend, or should they just love their spouse as God commanded in the Bible?
Marry somebody who is your friend. Marry somebody you can say, my friend, go and sit down, and they won't see it as an insult. There are some men that are so African. Young men, young men with old head. You say, my friend, stop that nonsense. Who say? They're not friends.
The principles of marriage they teach us today are the things picked from the gutters. What the Western world adopt, that's what the church teaches now. Meanwhile, when you go to the Western world, 7 out of every 10 marriage breaks because they marry their friends. They marry who they love. The kingdom prescription is different. You don't marry who you love who you marry, because love is a commandment.
My wife can tell me, my friend, leave me alone, Joe. I beg. We talk, and I'll say, okay, fine. That's friendship. There are women that they are married to principal. They are students. Sweep the house. Yes, sir. Where's my food? On the table. Where's the water? In the bathroom. They are married to principal. There's no
But it will take a teaching priest to bring you to that point. And your husband is not your friend. Your husband is your Lord. Your wife is not your slave. Your wife is a co-heir with you. So when a man is dealing with his wife, he's dealing with his wife the way Christ deals with the church. He dies to bring his wife's reality out. And when a wife is dealing with the husband, like Sarah, she calls her husband Lord. So the way it is difficult for a woman to submit, submission becomes the code of love. And the way a man is selfish, self-denial becomes his code of love. So at the end of the day, nobody possesses anything.
My honest opinion is, I think times have changed and people have evolved. Even though God has not changed and his word still remains the same. And his commandment is for us to love our spouse for better and for worse. Because marriage is not a bed of roses. There is no one method that can solve all marital problems. You see, even in the Bible, there is the story of Jacob, who saw Rachel and fell in love with her. There was no record of courtship. There was no record of friendship. He just saw her and fell in love with her and went to meet the father to ask for her hand in marriage, where Rachel's father played him and gave him Leah. So I don't think there was any form of courtship. If there was, then the father would not have had the opportunity to go back on his words. And again, if you check the story of Boaz and Ruth in the Bible, he just saw her, observed her, and he proposed marriage to her. So there was no record of courtship. If you check the story of Rebecca, it's still the same thing. I don't think either of these prophets are wrong, because there are different strokes for different folks. In one situation, you could see that it's best to have a friend, but we have also seen that in some marriages, there are people who chose people that they did not know, or maybe their parents even chose their spouse for them. And we have a record of longer marriages when it is an arranged marriage. It is not a lie that in the olden days, when our parents used to make choices for us, they observed people they saw, and if they saw that they fit into people that can make a good wife or good husband for their son or daughter, they approach their family and speak to them. And first of all, they will have to make sure they do their background check. And because they know these people's parents better than the younger ones, they will know if they are coming from a reputable family, if the family has integrity or dignity. They will know if the family is a good family or not, which also shows through statistics that people that come from good families always make good spouses. They always last longer in marriage. It was better then when parents used to make those choices, but now youths of nowadays say they want to know their spouses for themselves and fall in love and become friends. But the problem is there is a mixed and missed priority when they are trying to become friends with their partners. What they do is they go out to eat ice creams, they go out and sleep with each other instead of concentrating and learning each other's behavior, trying to correct each other's character and correcting each other in love. They go about doing the wrong things, all in the name of friendship. And at the end of the day, you see that these people know each other in the biblical sense of knowing each other, which means they have slept with each other, they have explored each other's bodies. But you see that other things that matters the most, they don't know each other's character. You see that they keep their phones private because they think their phones are private. They don't allow each other access into each other's phones, each other's accounts, but yet they say they are each other's best friends. They know every part of each other's private parts, but they are not allowed to touch each other's phones because they think it's private and other things that don't matter. So I think this is a misplaced priority. So I'll leave you to watch this video and make your own judgment. Please, you can do well to drop your comments and your thoughts in the comment section so that we can build this community together and share our ideas and our thoughts. It will help us go a long way in settling this issue once and for all.
It's a kingdom pattern, because when marriage is completed, you will not just have children, you will become like Christ. Because the goal of marriage is to deal with your flesh until you become like Christ. But what the world is teaching is how to coexist together. And so it becomes a mental charade. Because there are no teaching priests. He said, as holy women, the same way Sarah called her husband Lord. He said, that is how you relate with your husband. And he said, concerning the man, for your prayer to be answered, deal with her with understanding as a weaker vessel. So the man is disadvantaged, the woman is disadvantaged if they choose to walk in the flesh. Because if the woman doesn't see the husband as Lord, she will never have a relationship with God. And if the man marginalizes the woman, his prayers will not be answered. Kingdom position, because marriage reveals the portrait of heaven, but we reduce it to earthly things. You will see people go for marriage seminar, they tell them to dress naked before their husband, because love is sensual. Love is not a commandment. So a wife is taught how to seduce the husband. Is she a harlot?